In this video, I want to give some advice to not only marine biologists or college graduates, but to anyone who is working towards a dream of theirs and they feel lost in the tyranny of how to do it. Because the way I'm approaching my big mission of protecting the oceans could really spark some inspiration in you when it comes to achieving your big dreams. Now, before I delve in, drop a hashtag I'm a creator in the comments down below. And this should be all of us, because whether or not you realize it, you are a creator. And that's really what we're doing here, right? We're choosing to be the creators of our life experiences so that ultimately we can lift each other up and connect at a level that'll heal ourselves and the planet. So hashtag I'm a creator, and while you're at it, please hit that like and subscribe button as well. Okay, so exactly 6 months ago, I graduated from college with a degree in marine biology, and right now, I'm not doing much marine biology work aside from educating children online. In fact, I'm not even near the ocean. I'm over 700 miles away from it, and this back here is actually like Michigan, and my main focus lately has actually been on entrepreneurship work. Now, how the heck did this even happen, and what am I even doing? Because believe it or not, I'm still working towards my big mission. Now, here's one of the analogies I use when it comes to conquering my dreams, and this is an analogy that you can apply to even if you're not a marine biologist. So, right now, I envision my big dream of protecting the oceans as a huge mountain in the distance, right? And before I ask myself what pathway I want to take to the mountain or how I'll get there, the very first thing I ask myself is why? Why is it that I want to go after this dream? Remember that reasons come first, answers come second, and if you have a strong enough why, that is where your passion is going to come from, and that'll serve as your fuel. And Simon Sinek talks about this in his book Start With Why, and he has what he calls the golden circle, and the point he makes is that most people go from the outside of the circle inwards, right? Everybody knows what they do and how, but very few people know why they do what they do. Now, the key here is to flip this and to instead go from the inside of the circle outwards, and that way you're talking directly to the part of the brain that controls behavior and allows you to make gut decisions. And so that's exactly what I did. I started with why, and not only did I know my why, but I felt it throughout my entire body and especially within my heart. And for me, my why comes down to a lot of things, but mainly just my deep love and connection with the ocean. And honestly, I don't even know where it comes from. It's just in me, as me. And so after knowing the why, the how comes much, much easier, but I know that people still tend to get stuck in the tyranny of how, and my advice for you is to just start by identifying all the possible pathways that you can take towards your dream, right? And then look at what opportunities and resources are available to you now, and just start somewhere, and just let your heart and your natural curiosity guide you towards a pathway. So for me, I actually started by going down the research route of all these pathways because that's just where my natural curiosity took me. And what I discovered is that although I love scuba diving and collecting data underwater, I'm not super passionate about writing research papers. And the reason for that is because I just don't see it as having the big scale impact that I'm after, right? Because stats and facts just don't resonate within the hearts and minds of people, and that doesn't awaken them to the beauty of our planet. And so I'm just like, okay, this is not how I want to achieve what it is I'm after. Let me go back to my why, right? Why am I doing this again? And once I did that, a brand new how started to come to me. And here's an important point I want to make with this. Just because you pivot and change your path doesn't necessarily mean that you're starting back on square one, because you did in fact make progress towards your dreams. Now you know what doesn't work for you, and you learned and you grew throughout that process. So instead, think of it like you're just merging onto a different lane. And also, you don't have to follow the same path for the rest of your life. Like for me, I eventually plan to buy and own several nonprofits so that I can scale them, but that's way down the road for me. Another thing to note with this is that you don't have to limit yourself to one path. Maybe you have a main path that you're taking, but you also want to take on a different pathway simultaneously. And this can involve anything like becoming a public speaker, writing a book, starting a YouTube channel, creating a personal brand, etc., etc. Like take me, for example. I mentioned how one path I'm taking is entrepreneurship work. And I eventually plan to move to San Diego soon, where I'll do more hands-on work in the ocean. So in my head, I envision these two paths overlapping each other because they do go hand in hand. And I imagine I'm walking with one foot on each pathway, kind of like this. And I'm on this journey going towards my dreams. Some people will disagree with this because they think it's better to focus on just one thing at a time, But in my opinion, if you want to get metaphorical, I don't see it necessarily as chasing two rabbits where you eventually get none of them. I see it more so as swimming with both arms. But again, totally up to you. See it however you want to see it, and always do what works best for you. So now, I challenge you to start with why. Why is it that you're going after this dream of yours? Then figure out the how by identifying all the possible pathways, looking at what opportunities and resources are available to you now. Then just let your heart and natural curiosity guide you down a pathway. And maybe you're already on a pathway, right? Well, then ask yourself if it's really the right pathway for you, or do you want to pivot onto a different one? Maybe you even want to head towards a different mountain. Really just evaluate what it is you're doing, and remember, it's okay to take two pathways at once, and heck, who says you can't be chasing more than one dream at a time? Remember that you are the creator of your life experience, and life can be anything you make of it, and you've got this. Hashtag I'm a creator. And one final thing, I have a new goal this month of getting 3 new patrons. Currently I have 5, so I'm shooting for 8 by the end of November. The link to donate is in the description down below. A huge shout out to my buddy Joe for becoming my newest patron. Appreciate you a lot. And you Canadians have been the most generous so far, so thank you all. But much love to everyone who's watching, and I'll see you soon for the next episode.